I am Rocky Dickerson with Realty One Group. This is the Summerlin Real Estate Market Report for January 2023. So there was a lot of activity happening in the month of January. In fact, prices went up by the middle of the month, even though they eased back down by the end of the month. So it was wise to be on the market at the beginning of January. Now we are still finding the trend that if a home is going to sell, most likely it's going to sell in those first 30 days. Now, we're also seeing another trend here in the Summerlin area. There are some false pricing reports out there, so we're going to cover that a little bit. Plus, there is a luxury market that's really booming in South Summerlin right now. That is starting to throw some of the numbers off on the high side. But we'll cover that and get through all the details here on the Summerlin Real Estate Market Report for January 2023. Yes, January was quite active in Summerlin. We ended the month with 424 houses available, 112 had gone into escrow, 40 expired off the market, and 91 closed escrow. Of those going into escrow, it took 19% less days to go into escrow. Prices were down by 1%. Those closing escrow prices were up by 2%. For condominiums and townhomes, there were 125 available at the end of the month. There were 40 that went into escrow, 14 that expired, and 26 that closed escrow. This was a huge increase in the closed escrows, and as far as those going into escrow, the condominiums and townhomes took 22% less days to sell. Now, there have been some discrepancies as far as pricing is concerned, so you do need to be careful. Make sure you have a professional showing you step by step what your home value is worth today. Now, looking community by community, let's start with Summerlin. In the Summerlin area, we have 110 houses available, 27 went into escrow, 6 expired off the market, and 27 closed escrow. The homes that closed escrow were up by 13%. Those going into escrow were up by 19% in their average sales price. For condominiums and townhomes, we ended up with 39 available, 14 went into escrow, 4 expired off the market, and 5 closed escrow. While the prices were down slightly for those that closed escrow, there was still an increase of activity, which is a great sign for the central Summerlin region. Going from central Summerlin, we go next into Summerlin Hills. There were 2 houses available at the end of the month. There was 1 condominium, and 1 condominium had gone into escrow. Obviously, not much activity, but we do hope to see much more for the month of February. Summerlin North, we ended with 55 houses available, 15 went into escrow, 4 expired off the market, and 8 closed escrow. Those that closed escrow were up by 19% on the average sales price. For condominiums and townhomes, we ended with 16 available, 6 went into escrow, 2 expired off the market, and 5 closed escrow. A lot of activity going on, even though prices were down slightly. So again, you do want to make sure that the pricing is applying to your neighborhood. Make sure you have a professional that's giving you the details of what's exactly happening in your particular region there. Going from Summerlin North, we go into Summerlin South. For Summerlin South, we ended the month with 44 houses available, 11 went into escrow, 9 expired off the market, and 10 closed escrow. Those closing escrow were up by 4% in the average sales price. Now, those going into escrow took 26% fewer days to actually sell. For condominiums and townhomes, we ended with 16 available, 4 went into escrow, 1 expired, and 4 closed escrow. Now here you see the closed escrow price as a huge increase. This is because there was 1 condo that sold for over $10 million, thus throwing off the pricing. This should correct by next month. Again, you want to make sure the pricing applies to your particular neighborhood. Going from Summerlin South, the next region we'll look at is Summerlin West. For Summerlin West, we ended the month with very active. There were 129 houses available in Summerlin West at the end of the month. 30 had gone into escrow, 12 expired off the market, and 23 closed escrow. For those closing escrow, prices were up by about 1%. And the number of days it took to sell was down by 9%. For those going into escrow, the number of days it took to sell went down by 23%. So homes are selling a little faster in Summerlin West. For condominiums and townhomes, we ended with 15 available at the end of the month. There were 4 that went into escrow, 3 that expired, and 2 that closed escrow. Of those closing escrow, prices were up by 4%. Those going into escrow, prices were up by 7%. We expect good things for Summerlin West in the near future. Going from here, we go into the area of Sun City Summerlin. Here we ended with 84 houses available at the end of the month, 30 that went into escrow, 9 expired off the market, 22 closed escrow. Now those closing escrow were down by 4%, but those going into escrow were up by 2%. For condominiums and townhomes, we ended with 38 available at the end of the month, 11 went into escrow during the month, 4 expired off the market, and 10 closed escrow. Those closing escrow were down by 2%, the average sales price, and those going into escrow were up by 4%. So we do expect to see some good news here soon. For more information about how this affects you and your particular property, give me a call, Rocky Dickerson, at 702-743-7625. Email rocky@rockysalesvegas.com, and please subscribe to my video channel.